Class Plus One, Book Snapshot, Chapter number 1, The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse by William Saurian. This story deals with two Armenian boys who stray away from the values of trust and honesty for which their tribe is famous. The elder one, Morad, steals a horse with a view to enjoy horse riding, and the younger one, the narrator, does not want the horse to be returned before he has learned to ride. However, when they are found red-handed by the owner of the horse, they decided to return it to him stealthily, lest the fair name of their tribe is blemished. As long as the horse was with Morad, he took very good care of it. Thus, the story deals with the theme of adventure and thrill of youth and strong tribe character. This story revolves around two poor Armenian boys, Morad and Aram. They are the members of the Grogralian family. The hallmarks for their tribe are trust and honesty. The story begins in a mood of nostalgia. Aram, the narrator, was then a boy of 9, and his cousin, Morad, a more adventurous but slightly crazy fellow, was 13. The narrator remembers vividly the day when Morad came to his house at 4 in the morning and woke him up by tapping on the window of his room. Aram jumped out of the bed, and when he looked out of the window, he could not believe what he saw. His cousin Morad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. Morad asked him to be quick if he wanted to have a ride. The narrator had a longing to ride, but his whole Groglanian family was poor, though well known for their trust and honesty. The narrator knew that his cousin Morad could not have bought the horse, and if he could not have bought it, he must have stolen it. The narrator refused to believe he had stolen it because no member of their tribe could be a thief. The narrator Aram asked Morad where he had stolen that horse. Morad did not reply, but asked him to leap out of the window if he wanted to have a ride. He knew that Morad was crazy regarding horses. Stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing money selling a stolen horse. The narrator leaped into his clothes. He jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped out onto the horse behind his cousin Morad. From their house in Walnut Avenue, they reached Olive Avenue in less than 3 minutes. The horse began to trot as the air was fresh and lovely to breathe. Morad was considered one of the craziest members of their family. He began to sing rather roar. They reached the open country and let the horse run as long as it felt like running. At last, Morad asked Aram to get down as he wanted to ride alone. Aram asked him if he would let him the horse ride alone. Morad replied, "It is up to the horse." The narrator got down and his cousin Morad kicked his heels into the horse and shouted, "Wazir, run!" The horse stood on his hind legs, snorted and ran forward at a fast speed. Morad raced the horse across the field of dry grass to an irrigation ditch. He crossed the ditch on the horse and 5 minutes later returned. He was dripping wet. Now the sun was coming up. The narrator leaped to the back of the horse, but the horse did not move. At the suggestion of Morad, he kicked into the muscles of the horse. It reared, snorted, and began to run. The narrator did not know what to do. Instead of running across the field to the irrigation ditch, the horse ran down the road to the vineyard of Dekram Halbanian and leapt over the 7 vines before Aram fell. Morad came running down the road. He was more worried about the horse than Aram. Both of them searched the horse in different directions. It took Morad half an hour to find the horse and bring him back. Morad hid the horse in the deserted vineyard belonging to the farmers There was some odds and dry alfalfa in the barn. It occurred to the narrator that Murad had been taking early rides for some time and had come to him that morning only. He inquired, "How long ago did you steal the horse?" Murad did not like the question. The narrator rephrased it, "How long did you begin riding every morning?" He replied, "Not until this morning." He was obviously not speaking the truth, but he convinced Aram by saying so. Murad then told Aram that it wasn't easy to get the horse to behave so nicely. At first, it wanted to run wild, but since he had a way with the horse, he developed an understanding with the horse. Later reached home and ate a hearty breakfast. That afternoon, his uncle Khusrov came to the house for coffee and cigarettes. While he was sipping coffee and smoking in the parlor, another visitor arrived. The latter was a farmer named John Byro. He was an Azarian who, out of lowliness, had learned to speak Armenian. He was also served coffee and tobacco. Sighing sadly, he said that his white horse, which had been stolen last month, was still gone. Uncle Khusrov became irritated and snubbed him for crying over a horse. Farmer John Byro was a large man with a gentle heart. He had to walk 10 miles to reach there, and his left leg pained him. The horse had cost him $60, and his surrey was no good without a horse. As soon as the farmer went away, Aram ran over to his cousin Murad's house and told him everything. He asked Murad not to return it till he learnt the ride. He suggested keeping it for a year or at least 6 months. Murad thought he was inviting Groglanian to steal. He decided to return the horse to its true owner. Early every morning for 2 weeks, Murad and Aram took the horse out of the barn of a deserted vineyard where they were hiding it and rode it. Every morning, the horse would leap over grapevines and small trees and through Aram and run away. Still, Aram hoped to learn the ride as Murad rode. One morning, on the way to Fatwagian deserted vineyard, they came across the farmer John Byro, who was on his way to town. Murad greeted him. The farmer studied the horse eagerly and wished them good morning. He asked the name of their horse. Murad replied that they called it My Heart. John Byro called it a lovely name for a lovely horse. He was certain that it was the horse which had been stolen from him many weeks ago. He asked if he might look into the horse's mouth. On examining the teeth of the horse, the farmer was ready to swear that it was his own horse. But since the fame of their family for honesty was well known, he would not call it the stolen horse. Still, it was the twin of his horse. Early the next morning, the boys took the horse to John Byro's vineyard and put it in the barn. Murad put his arms around the horse, pressed his nose into the horse's nose, and patted it, and then they went away. That afternoon, John Byro came to the house in his surrey and showed the narrator's mother the horse that had been stolen and returned. He was surprised to find the horse stronger than ever and better tempered too. He thanked God. Uncle Khusrov, who was in the parlor, became irritated and shouted at him to be quiet. He observed that his horse had been returned and repeated his pet phrase, "Pay no attention to it."